My wife once made a little joke about her old boyfriend being much bigger than me. That one simple sentence, and the honest answer I gave back to it, changed every single part of our lives. It was the moment that eventually led to our marriage coming to an end. My name is Nathan. Before that one specific night, I truly believed in my heart that I was a very patient man. I thought I was someone who had the kind of patience you only see in saints. I had been married to my wife, Olivia, for 4 years. We were not a perfect couple by any means, because no couple truly is, but I really believed we had a deep and honest level of respect for each other. I thought that this respect was a strong glue that would keep our hearts stuck together through any hard time or scary storm that life might throw our way. Olivia was a person who was always full of fire and energy. She was very smart. She was quick to tell a funny joke, and she loved to see just how far she could push things. Most of the time, I really loved that part of who she was. It made our life together feel like an exciting adventure that was always fresh and new. But lately, her jokes had not been landing in a way that felt like fun anymore. They started to feel like they were meant to leave a mark and cause a bit of pain. It all started with very small things. She would make little mean comments about how I forgot to wash the dishes in the kitchen sink. She would tease me about the hair on the top of my head getting a bit thinner as I got older. She would even laugh with her group of friends when I accidentally tripped over our dog while I was trying to cook a meal in the kitchen. At first, it seemed like it was all just harmless fun, right? I let it all slide and did not say anything, because when you are married, you learn that you should not get upset over small stuff. But over the last few months, her sense of humor started to change into something else entirely. It was moving into a place that was not funny at all. It felt like she was being very disrespectful to me as her husband. One night, we went to a dinner party at a friend's house in Raleigh, North Carolina. There were about 8 of us there in total. We were all sitting around the living room, sipping on glasses of wine and eating from a nice tray of meats and cheeses on a charcuterie board. We were all sharing stories and laughing a lot together as a group. Eventually, someone told a story about a really bad first date they once had a long time ago. One of Olivia's friends looked over at her and asked what her worst date ever was. Without stopping to think or missing a single beat, Olivia smiled and said, "Oh, it was definitely the guy who never stopped talking about himself. He and Nathan are tied for last place." Everyone at the table laughed out loud at that. I tried to force a little laugh too, just to be polite to our friends, but my stomach felt like it was tied in a very tight knot. Then she said the joke that changed my whole world in an instant. The talk shifted to how couples are close and intimate with each other. Olivia had already had a few glasses of wine by then. She leaned back in her chair with a little smirk on her face. She said, "Well, at least my ex was bigger." She said it so casually, like it was just a silly little comment and the funniest thing in the whole wide world. For a second, the whole table went completely quiet. Then there was some very awkward laughter from the other guests. It was the kind of sound people make when they are very uncomfortable and are not sure if they should laugh along or just get up and leave the room. My ears started ringing loudly. My chest felt very tight, like it was being squeezed by a very heavy weight. I did not say a single word back to her. I did not get up and leave, and I did not yell at her in front of everyone. I just sat there with a small, fake smile on my face, acting like the comment did not bother me at all. But deep inside of me, something had cracked and broken. That night, the drive home in the car was completely silent. Olivia tried to act like the whole thing was no big deal. She told me I was being too sensitive, and she tried to joke around with me, but I did not say anything back to her. I was not even angry yet. Instead, I was thinking very hard and making a plan. I stayed awake all night long, just staring up at the dark ceiling above our bed. I listened to Olivia breathing softly as she slept peacefully next to me, acting as if nothing bad had happened at all. My mind kept playing her words over and over again like a broken record. At least my ex was bigger. It was not just the words that hurt my feelings. It was the way she looked when she said them to the group. She looked proud of herself, like she had won a grand prize by embarrassing me in front of all our close friends. The next morning, I did not say a single word about it. I did not want her to know I was upset at all. I wanted her to think I had moved on and forgiven her for what she said. I gave her a sweet kiss on the forehead before I went to work. I made her a fresh cup of coffee just the way she likes it. I even sent her a very nice text message at lunchtime to ask how her day was going, if she thought I was acting strange. She did not say anything to me, but when I was by myself, I worked on exactly what I was going to say to her. I did not want to have a big, loud fight or a screaming match. I wanted her to feel the heavy weight of her own words. I wanted her to understand that you cannot just choose when to be respectful in a marriage. It has to be something you do all the time, every day. That following weekend, we were invited to another party. This one was at our own house in Asheville, North Carolina. I made sure every little detail of the evening was perfect. I cooked big steaks on the grill. I poured the wine for everyone, and I kept the music happy and loud. Olivia was in her element, having a great time with everyone. She was laughing, talking to every person there, and being a wonderful hostess. At one point in the evening, a friend asked us how we kept our marriage so strong after all these years. Olivia got a big grin on her face and opened her mouth to speak. I knew she was probably going to make another joke at my expense, so I stepped in very gently. You know what keeps us strong? I said. My voice was very calm and quiet. It is mutual respect. At least, that is what I always thought we had. The whole room went very quiet. Olivia blinked her eyes, looking very confused. Nathan, she started to say, but I did not let her finish what she was saying. I looked her right in the eyes. You know, last week you made a joke about your ex-boyfriend being bigger than me. I have thought about that a lot, I said, and I realized you were right. He was bigger. He was much bigger at cheating on people. He was bigger at telling lies. He was much bigger at treating you like you were garbage. And even after all that, you are still here with me. Her face turned white. Her smile disappeared instantly. Nobody in the room moved an inch. No one said a single word. Olivia opened her mouth to speak, but then she closed it again. I stayed very calm the whole time. I did not raise my voice, and I did not look away from her. You stood there in front of people who look up to you, and you turned our marriage into a joke for a laugh. I told her. I went home with you that night, but I have not been able to look at you the same way since then. Do you know why? Olivia's eyes were very wide, and I could see she was starting to panic. Nathan, I did not mean it that way. She started to whisper to me. I stopped her softly. You did mean it, and even if you did not, that is actually the big problem here. You did not think about me at all. You did not think about how it would feel to have the person I trust most in the whole world make me the butt of a joke about my worth as a man. The room was so quiet that I could hear the sound of the fridge running in the kitchen. I have made a decision, I said, finally finished with laughing things off. I am done pretending that being disrespected is just funny. If you want to be with someone you can compare to your ex, then you should go find him. I would much rather be all by myself and sit here and let you slowly break me down, one joke at a time. Our friends were completely still. They did not know if they should leave or stay. Olivia's face began to crumble, and she started to cry. She reached out to take my hand, but I moved it away. I am so sorry, she said, her voice shaking. I was just trying to be funny. I did not think. That is exactly it, I said very quietly. You did not think. And if we want this marriage to survive, that has to change right now. Tears were running down her eyes. She nodded her head very quickly. All the fire she usually had was gone. I promise, she whispered. I finally sat back and let the tension in the room fade a little bit, so our guests could breathe again. I turned to them with a polite smile and said, I am sorry about that. Does anyone want some dessert? The rest of the night was a little bit awkward, but Olivia never made another mean joke. That night, and for a long time after, I felt like I finally got something back that I had been losing for a while. I finally felt like I had my self-respect again.